Good Friday afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Charlie Lenz, and today we're going to be getting into some more interesting guidance that we have from models today. Yesterday was kind of a bummer of a video. We had some trends in the wrong direction for this. We were looking good, and then it started to look weird, but we're still, it's not over yet, guys. We're going to go into the latest, and I'm going to show y'all a bunch of different model runs. We're going to dive deep into that, show you that, and round this video off looking at what the possible fly in the ointment is for this system. Because this was looking good, and it's starting to look different. Not necessarily bad, I'm not going to say that, and it is not over yet. So stay tuned for this video, watch through at least the model guidance portion. I'm going to be a nerd at the end of this, most likely, and show you a bunch of this stuff. So stick around if you'd like to see that. Otherwise, just watch for the first part. I haven't worked in timestamps yet. I might do that later. But if you like this video, like it, subscribe if you haven't already, and we're going to get right into it here. So this right here that you're looking at is the average of heights in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere, about 3 or 4 miles above your head. This is the anomaly. This is the average of whether we're going to be looking at above or below average pressures. So ultimately, what this really is these blues that you see here are lower pressure and cooler air typically, and then these reds that you see like on the right side of your screen there are above average pressures, and above average temperatures are typically associated with them. So we're going to get out right to our time frame of interest here. This is midnight Sunday. So if you didn't know already and you haven't seen it yet, our main time frame we're looking at here is Sunday morning. Really any time within the hours of Sunday we could be looking at this. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up Epic Pen and let it be loading here. So what this is our storm system right here. It's oriented much further west than it used to be. It's actually perfect timing. Epic Pen just worked here. We have this trough digging down this way. So this is positively tilted. If its axis points like this down to the southwest, it's positive tilt. That means it's a little bit weaker. If it were to say, if its axis were like that and it was pointing straight down, that would be neutral tilt. And if it was pointed like this, that would be negative tilt. These two here are what you want to see. So we don't have it. And that's okay. Maybe. So this is getting, this is like 1 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday. Our trough is back here. And our area of interest here, I'm going to go ahead and circle, is really right in here. Areas further north are kind of set for something. I'll go over that maybe later. I live down here. I'm talking about this area. A lot of my viewers are down here. So I'm focusing primarily on that for that reason. But that's our area of interest, and our trough is back here. So already right off the dot, not really the greatest look here. Our energy is a little bit displaced back to the west, but that's okay. Let's look through this here. So let's get into 7 a.m. This is 6 hours later. 7 a.m. Our trough now has a little bit more of it's at least closer to a neutral tilt, but still slightly positively tilted here. So it's better, but also note that axis that I just drew is still significantly west of our area of interest here. So still not the greatest look. Continue this on, and it really centers itself over our area of interest in the afternoon on Sunday, primarily when our moisture is going to be heading out. At least as of right now, that's what's being modeled. So I'm going to get back to this tab later in the video, and we'll go over this a little bit more and then some temperature things. So we're going to go right into what everyone wants to see. This is the Euro from this morning. So I've already looked over this, so I'm going to go ahead and show it to you here. We finally have something back on the Euro. I mean, you may remember what I showed you yesterday, and there was like a tiny bit of snow. Now, this model has run 4 times since I showed you that, and it's done different things every time. But overall, where this moisture is about the same. Right up the coast to the central areas of South Carolina and southern Georgia, it seems to be really good. The Euro loves southern Georgia with this system. It continually gives you areas of southern Georgia snow, even if it's not a whole lot. Y'all have never really left where the snow is yet, and then it moves on out. Areas north of, say, Florence, South Carolina, and like Myrtle Beach, areas points north and east, stay rain with this, at least in this view. I haven't zoomed out yet. So that's the Euro from this morning. It looks different than yesterday's. It's still not anything great, not anything like we were seeing, but still, it's better. It really is. We have some snow, we have some wintry mix. So this tells me that this run of the Euro compared to what I showed you last time is a little bit cooler, just ever so slightly. So that's a good thing. Now what I'm going to show you here, this is the 6Z Euro. So I'm going to click through these here and get this back out where we need it. So getting into Sunday, this was the run before what I just showed you. So pretty similar look, really, although a little bit more snow into, say, Alabama on this run. What I really am wanting to show you here is right here, and what I'm going to do, it might have to load these frames a little bit. I'm going to load a few, so don't worry about this choppiness, and I'll go back. So what I'm going to do, this is the most recent run, so I'm going to go back several. This is several runs. This is many runs ago. I'm going to start to click through these, and I want you to look at where these blue dotted lines are in the middle of your screen, and all this moisture. I want you to see where it starts to go. See how it starts? It's overall, it's trending west. This is going back several runs. So as we've progressed in time here, these are what the runs have been doing, pushing that trough and pushing this moisture over land more. So we've had obviously a run like that where it was a lot more snow. But overall, we've been trending this mainly west and some to the north. So it's not a bad trend for areas in, say, central to northern areas of South Carolina, right in here. That I-85 corridor, and even some of the I-20 corridor, actually, and areas down here. But really just the I-85 corridor from Atlanta, Greenville, Spartanburg, Charlotte, the areas of North Carolina here, all the way up into Virginia, it's starting to trend, and you want to see this if you live up here. We're running out of time here, I won't lie to you, for this to do anything major, but still, let's see, I think, yeah, this is the most recent run that I'm already looking at here. So on the Euro, the snow peaks at, say, 10 a.m. Sunday. So the exact timing is different every model. So we're not going to focus too much on that. I'm going to also show you this with the GFS here. This is the most recent GFS run. So it's kind of similar to the Euro, actually. It keeps snow more to the south and then mixes some in for the low country and Midlands of South Carolina, getting into just after lunchtime on Sunday, but a lot of rain. Warming issues here, and snow, it's splotchy to the north. Then it moves on out. So I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to, sorry for the choppiness, but same thing. What I want you to see, the GFS has done something different here. So this was many runs ago. So we didn't have moisture. See, this is what shocked everyone. We didn't have any moisture. It was all over the Atlantic. Then we started to see this. This was a fantasy run right here. And so the GFS is ticking to the southeast. It's different. But the moisture in the last several runs has stayed in a similar place. These are the runs yesterday, right in here. And the problem with them was that it was too warm. But our most recent ones are starting to put some snow back into the picture, which is great to see. Now, there's an argument at this range for not even using this this guidance. This is global models that I just showed you. The GFS and Euro are global models, so the resolution is lower, and their science behind them, the technology behind them is a little bit older. Some of these higher resolution models are newer, so why don't we use those? Well, I'll give them a chance. Let's look at it. This is the NAM, North American model. it has an overamp bias, which pretty much means it does more. Just everything's more. More moisture, cooler air, bigger storm system in general. So take this with a grain of salt. The NAM has downtrended a little bit over the past several runs, but this is this morning's run. So we start off as rain in these areas at say 7 a.m. Sunday, most of them with some light snow showers in central Georgia and around the Charlotte area. And then boom, just like that, we have snow in central Georgia, southern areas of Alabama, all the way up through central South Carolina and up towards Charlotte. Starts to move off to the east a little bit. So say Columbia gets a round of heavy wet snow with this. Florence gets some snow with this, and it moves on out pretty quick. But the NAM has done some other interesting things. I'm going to show you, let's say, the last run here, and just take it out here. So that's bigger. It's just overall, it's just more. And it stayed west. So we had a tick to the southeast with the last run, and it's not quite as amped up. So what do you take from that? I honestly don't really know. That tick to the southeast is interesting to me, but it tells me that possibly our trough is starting to trend back to the southeast just a little bit, because that NAM is not the only model that did this. So this is the most recent run. I'll run through it one more time, just like that. And then we're going to look at the king of short range models that unfortunately we're still not within range of completely. This is starting off midnight Sunday. So let's just look at these. These are the last few frames of the HRRR. This is the last one we have. So what I want you to take here is our axis of moisture on the northern fringe is all the way up here. That's our nose of moisture, and we already have snow in central areas of Georgia here. So we can only guess as to what the HRRR would have done with this if it went more hours out. I might make a video this evening. Probably I will tomorrow morning and try to get 2 videos out tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to be the main day to figure out what this is going to do, guys. Today is important, but tomorrow, if we're waking up to it being really warm with our model guidance, is when you start to give up hope, in a sense. So that's also when we'll start to look at the HRRR a little bit more in depth here. So this is the last frame we have, but it's looking optimistic on the HRRR here, so that we can only guess. This is the NAM 3K. What I showed you first from the NAM was the NAM 12K. Lower resolution. This is the higher resolution version with some different microphysics. So I don't know a whole lot about this model's biases, but we're just gonna dive right into it. So this is 7 a.m. all rain so far, and then boom, here we go. We have snow breaking out in areas as far south as Apalachicola, Florida, really, and all the way up through southern Georgia. I'm telling you, southern Georgia in areas could overperform with this, and you've been looking good with this so far. Up through central South Carolina and like Columbia, and it sticks around several hours here of heavy wet snow in Columbia, and it moves on out. Florence is right on the edge here, and then off towards the Outer Banks. Outer Banks do stay snow though. And if you look at this frame right here, this is 11 a.m. We can take it to lunchtime. If you live up here where I do, or close, like right in here, the I-85 corridor from Atlanta to Charlotte, and you're looking at this and you're rolling your eyes and saying, wow, it's gonna miss us again. Columbia is getting snow. The Gulf Coast is getting snow in Florida, and we up here in a mountainous area aren't. Well, I don't have a whole lot to tell you other than we do have time to change this, and overall, we've been ticking the moisture up to the northwest in general. That's all I can tell you right now. Don't get too bummed out if you're up here, because I'm up here. I would love to see snow just as much as the next guy. Trust me, I want to see some snow. But we might not, and that's okay. It's not the end of the world if we don't see snow. Don't get too involved here. But we still have models like this that are giving us some snow. Think about yesterday's video. We didn't have anything to be optimistic about, really. So we have these runs. This is the NAM. So it's kind of like the GFS where you kind of take it with a grain of salt. It's not the greatest thing ever, but still, you still have it. I mean, areas just down the road here, you get on I-26 from Greenville, and you're going to hit some heavy wet snow. So if you live up here in the upstate of South Carolina and you wanted to go see some snow, I'm not going to tell you to be or put yourself in danger, but drive down there and see some snow, guys. If something like this ends up unfolding, areas to the south could see a lot of heavy wet snow. It could be a very festive look. So that's all I'm going to say with this. So let's move this on here. This is a new model. I looked at this when we were looking at some severe weather stuff. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it's new, so we'll give it a chance. Right off the bat, good grief, we changed to snow down here in areas of Mississippi and southern Alabama. Even a little bit showing up in the bayous of Louisiana here. This is 5 a.m. Sunday. Big areas snow starting to show up here off the GSL model. In southern Alabama, central Georgia, and then bam, I start to get snow up here. Greenville, Spartanburg area. Atlanta's right on the fringe of it here. Charlotte's close. And this is the last frame we have. It's been having some outage issues, so we may get more frames later. But that's not entirely the point here. What this is telling me it would do, this is 10 a.m. right here. I mean, you may be wondering, let's say, why some of these areas off to the east are still rain. It's just too warm. It seems simple, like, well, duh, of course it's too warm, that's what it means. But it's as simple as that. There's nothing really more complicated than just that. Whether it's that you're too warm at the surface or you're too warm aloft or a mix of both. You're too warm. And that's all you need to focus on. But it's a sharp cutoff. It's an aggressive one too. You can live in Atlanta and see nothing, and you can go down the road a little bit to, I say a little bit, but to Augusta, and you're like, whoa, look at all this snow. It's different. And we have to look at it here and pay it close attention and look at the most updated information. This is one of the most aggressive models that we have right now when it comes to the like square mileage of snow that's showing up. Not the heaviest snow necessarily, but just the most areas. I mean, look at it, it's massive. And you can only guess as to what it would do later. Some snow showers starting to make their way into central North Carolina here. So who knows what it was going to do. Let's click. This is the RRFSA model starting off midnight Sunday, just like we were with the others. And what does it do? This is 7 a.m. Snow down in southeast Mississippi, southern Alabama, panhandle of Florida. And it's similar to the GSL model here in placement. Area of heavy snow getting into central Georgia, but again, Atlanta, you're right on the edge. And then what's this? You might be looking at this like, what? If you live in central South Carolina and you're like, what is this? We're going to get ripped off with this because it just all decides to turn to rain. There's some complicated mesoscale features here. If you don't know already, you probably do. There's mountains up here. The Southern Appalachians sit here. So I might take a broader view at this later and I can show you, but we have cold air diving in with this trough, right? So that's why the western areas of this always get the snow. It's also hitting the mountains, but instead of just going right through them, they're some pretty high elevations. They're hitting them and they're kind of stopping. And they're gonna leak over, but it's slower. And just a few hours of delay here will mean that, you know, areas in the Piedmont and Midlands of South Carolina just stay rain. And that would suck if you live there. And I even live in an area where we're very close to having something like that happen. It just all comes down to the day of. So this is one of the last frames we had. Well, it's actually, I lied to you. I just wasn't loading it here. So South Carolina gets completely just, it's like it hits the border and just disappears. North Carolina gets some, we don't get any. So what's this? Well, this is one solution, and we'll have to see if it plays out like this, but it well could. Be prepared for something like this to happen where you look on the radar down in Georgia and you're like, man, it's snowing like crazy down there. And it's headed towards us too. It may not reach you if you're in like central South Carolina, even upstate South Carolina, it may not reach you. So this is another model, the HRW, the FV3 model. This is one of NCEP's models. Pretty good. I don't think it has any too terrible of a bias here for cold or warm. So we get into 7 a.m. We already have some more snow. So what tells me that this model is a little bit cooler. But you may be looking at this and like, why is it so splotchy? Like, where's our like perfectly oval shaped area of snow where it's all filled in here like we were seeing. Where's that at? Well, we may struggle with moisture this far up to the northwest. See, our moisture is not as splotchy down here, so it's hard to tell. It's crazy that we're getting closer here to our time frame, and yet we're more confused. This happens sometimes, and it may continue to happen. I don't know. Tomorrow will be a big day for determining what happens here. But deliver some snow to southern Georgia, just like we were talking about, and then central South Carolina gets some. Even the coastal areas with some pretty heavy snow showers down here, and it moves on out. What is the next thing I have? So it was this. So what I want to do is take this back through to, let's say, we'll take it to the NAM 3K. This is one of the more aggressive ones, and we have everything here. So how much snow does this drop? You know, well, there's a lot of snow, but how much does it actually drop on us? So let's see. Let's run it out. And just like that, boom. This is, I'm going to do some drawing. Right in here, southern areas of Georgia. I don't know a lot of the cities down here. So I apologize for that. But southern areas of Georgia, you guys, if you live in the circle I just drew, I'm not going to say you're set for snow. I would never say that until the day of. Probably not. I would probably just never say it, honestly. You're good for snow in a sense. You've been modeled to have it most of the whole time. And if you think about our mountains up here, right, like we were talking about earlier, our cold air is coming in like this, right? There's nothing obstructing it. So it does not surprise me that we get snow on the southern areas of this. And then it kind of gets splotchy in here, but I mean, gosh, it really doesn't. Let me just erase these two circles. I'm going to leave the lines. We really have an area of snow here that stays heavy up through near where Columbia is, but they're close. And then picks up another special area here. And I mean, I don't know a lot of these cities. Greenville, North Carolina, I think is close on that second circle I just drew. And northern areas of South Carolina along the border are also included. So this could happen. I wouldn't be surprised if this happened. But this is a little bit amped. These totals are a little bit high considering the trends we've been seeing. But hey, it's possible. It's still model guidance, right? So I'm going to take this, sorry for the choppiness here, I'm going to take it back out to here. So just like yesterday, we're kind of struggling with some air issues. Is the air going to be cold enough? Is the cold air that we know we're going to have, is it going to make it in time? Well, I don't know. That's really the thing that we do not know yet, and that sucks that we don't know it. We can't figure it out. But hey, it's the weather. It's hard to figure this stuff out. So we already showed you this. What I'm going to show you is the temperature themselves. If you don't remember yesterday's video, this is the Euro Ensemble, and these are the average temperatures. It's a very reliable thing to look at, even at this range. Where you see it turn to blue and then get darker is at or below freezing. Anywhere in green is just above freezing onward to these colors down here where it's in like the 70s and 80s. See our freezing line here, making it that's at the surface, not aloft. This is 7 a.m. Sunday. This is disclaimer here. This is not the only factor. It can be, let's say, it can be in the 20s, upper 20s, or lower 20s, or anywhere below that. It can be very cold, and you're still getting some sort of wintry mix. It's not just snow, because the upper levels matter. So keep that in mind, but our freezing level at the surface is here. This has improved since yesterday. This freezing line has dropped to the southeast some. So that's important. And even right here, this is more our whole time frame. This is the frame I'm going to keep it on. Yes, it's daytime, so we get our freezing line to ride back up to the north a little bit. But I'm going to circle right in here. This air mass right here in this circle I just drew, I'm going to draw some arrows pointing at it. Pay attention. That circle right there has improved, guys. I mean it. Yesterday we were seeing 40s in that circle. Technically there's a 40 down here. Who cares? Not about that. In general, we have improved this air mass, guys. I didn't think we were going to do it. I may eat my words and we may get nothing. I hope I don't. But we have improved that air mass over the Carolinas and especially most eastern areas of Georgia. Even areas down here in northern Florida and the Panhandle are still cooler than they were yesterday. All the way up through South Carolina, all of South Carolina is below 40. That doesn't mean you're going to get snow everywhere, but it's better. If you may remember yesterday's video, you may not, but our freezing line was more like that, kind of, not exactly, but just in general, the temperatures across this region were just higher by a few degrees. So this tick downwards is important. I don't know if this is going to let us do this. See, yeah, right in here. This I think was the run I showed you yesterday. It was warmer. We had some upper 30s across like the Carolinas, for example. In the most recent run, they go down a few. This is not something where we're going to suddenly see temperatures in these pink and are these like white and purple colors up here. These are in Fahrenheit. We're not going to see below zero temperatures down here suddenly. But in general, we've cooled this down, guys. I promise you we did. It's subtle. It really is. I'll get this off here. But we did cool it down. And that's an important change because that was the issue here. So the last thing I'm going to show you here, and we're going to round this off here, is looking at our energy. This is vorticity. I showed you this yesterday. It's rotation, essentially like horizontally like this. So it spins like that. And that's not all that important to you guys. It doesn't really matter. But this is energy. This is what gets clouds to form. This is what gets storm systems to form in general. This is always associated, say nearly always, it is nearly always associated with a low pressure system and unsettled weather in general. This is an average. This is the Euro Ensemble from this morning. Let's get it. This is the most recent one here. This right here, let's take it back an hour and back a frame. This is 7 a.m. Sunday. Notice where our energy is, back to the west of our area of interest. So not great. It starts to enter our area of interest at, say, 1 a.m. And then even more so as we get later into the afternoon, but our moisture's gone. So this is going to come down really close. I mean, think about watching a race, and it gets down to the last 10 seconds, and the two cars are really close to each other, but it only matters right at the very end. And for this event, it only really matters what happens within a few hours of it happening. So looking at this is great and all. It may happen exactly like this. And if it does, tip our caps to the Euro Ensemble. It's been doing pretty well with this, I think. But overall, what I want you to get from this is that we may have ticked colder by a few degrees overall here. Our moisture may be ticking to the northwest a little bit. So if I had to guess, I don't know if I can just get this blank. I really can't. I mean, I'll pull the temperature itself back up. That is not what I meant to click on. Shaded temperatures here. Here we go. Sorry about that. Let's get into our time frame here. What we have done is our trough is digging down like this. And our trough has not moved a whole lot over the past couple days. It stayed roughly the same. You can see our freezing line here in the morning hours. Our area of interest is right here. So what we have ultimately done in the last 24 hours, if you gain nothing from this, we have ticked the temperatures in that circle a few degrees colder. It matters that we did that, just a little bit. Our trough has stayed roughly the same. And if anything, like I showed you on the Euro right at the beginning of this, we started to see the moisture overall start to tick inland a little bit, start to tick up to the northwest. This matters. Really, the coastal areas, I'm sorry, but you guys, let's say like here, are just going to struggle with this event. You might get some wintry mix, you may get snow, but it does not look likely that you're going to get snow as of right now. We'll go into it tomorrow, and it may be entirely different. What I just said, though, about the temperatures and moisture matters for, let's redo this. It matters for these regions right here. Because if we're taking this moisture northwest and we're taking our temperatures colder, what do you think that means? I think you can put 2 and 2 together here. It means that we have a higher chance. I can't say that I'm forecasting snow up here. And my dad was asking me earlier, "Hey, Charlie, what do you think is going to happen?" He's a teacher, and he was showing his students in class before they got started. I thought that was hilarious. But he asked me, he's like, "Do you think the snow chances have gone away?" And I said, no, not entirely, but it's so complicated. To just give a simple answer of yes or no is not really possible. So that's unfortunate for some people. It eats some people alive, not being able to figure this out. It bothers me that I don't know, but we'll figure it out. We'll make a video tomorrow and we'll go over it. And tomorrow, the trends that we see tomorrow, because tomorrow, obviously, is a full 24-hour period, and all that can happen with model guidance. For example, the Euro and GFS run 4 times in a single day. So that's 4 different chances for a different look. And we're getting close here. You know what? I'm going to do it. Last thing I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is pull up the href model. So this is an ensemble of the mid to upper levels here. This is I'm going to have to resize the page, unfortunately. There we go. I know it's a little bit smaller. That's the best I can do, though, right now. This is our trough here. This is valid at 12Z. So that's 7 a.m. Sunday. That's the last frame we have. It runs 48 hours out. Here is our trough. This is not energy. This is just wind and then height. You recognize these lines. So we see our trough digging back here. So if I had to draw an axis, it would be like this. Let me get everything else off. Our axis is right there. This is unfortunate, guys. This isn't shocking me at all that we're seeing this, because we already kind of know. In fact, it may be even further west than this. This is our axis of energy, but where our area of interest is all the way over here. Now, obviously it's close, and that's exactly why we're seeing these southern areas. I'm gonna pick a different color, or maybe this one. Our southern areas of Georgia here, up to like the Savannah, Beaufort area, South Carolina and Georgia along the border, have looked better consistently because you're just ever so slightly closer to where that axis is, and that cold air is just a little closer to you. That's all I'm going to show you with this. So this, I'm trying to figure out where I'm going here. Yeah, I'll just leave it on this. Speed it up here on the latest Euro. So use this for our end frame here. So that's all I actually have for you guys today. Not going to go super in depth with the upcoming pattern for, the next 16 days like we have before. We'll go into that. We need to get past this system before we focus on anything else. As of right now, if someone were to ask me what my forecast is, number one, it depends on where, right? Let's say you're in central South Carolina. My forecast for you right now is that no one wants to hear this, you have a 50-50 shot of getting rain or snow. I don't think you're going to struggle with moisture, though. There's some models, like what's running on your screen right now, if you look at it roll through here, where it's just south of like Columbia, just south and east. But regardless, I think you're good for some sort of moisture. We just have to make sure it's cold enough in the central areas of South Carolina. The upstate of South Carolina, like where I am, people ask me that. My family asked me that. My grandparents asked me that. And all I can tell them right now is that as of today's runs, as of today's trends, it looks like we're going to stay dry, but it's going to be cold enough to where if we do get moisture, it will snow. with northern extent in this setup, we're not going to struggle with temperature. We're going to struggle with moisture. And with southern extent and eastern extent, you're going to struggle with temperature. And so therefore, I'm just going to leave it on. I'll let it get back. Go ahead and pull this up. Leave it right there. This is not a bad. I think the areas most likely to see snow are right here in that circle. That doesn't even include me. That's not me. I'm not trying to like make myself feel good. I think if areas are going to see snow is right in that circle there. That would include areas of like Raleigh, I think, Columbia, down through Augusta, and central areas of Georgia. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Charlie, I think you're an idiot. The snow's down here, and you didn't just draw a circle over it. Yes, the Euro, it may be onto something, but I think our short range model guidance may have a slight better handle on this. And overall, if I had to draw, the best areas for snow are here, with our honorable mention here being down in southern areas of Georgia here. I think you guys have a pretty good shot at it too, especially considering model guidance has never really left y'all. It's left other areas, like the coast has completely gotten left for snow. But southern areas of Georgia you've been just chilling. So that's all I have for you. Tune in tomorrow. I should be able to get a video out. But thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.